A little bit. All right. Yeah. Dude, that's totally such a great idea. I'd love to join you for that. Except I'm busy. What's up? 'Cause it's time for Driven. There's nobody on my phone. How are you doing tonight? How are you feeling? What is up, Facebook? How are you doing tonight? More importantly, I want to ask, how are you feeling? I hope you're feeling good, because you know what I always say, a mentor once told me that when you feel good, you flat out do good. So I hope everybody's feeling good tonight. Thank you for coming on tonight's Driven. I'm fired up as can be. I hope you're pumped up too. This should be an excellent show for you guys. I got a great interview planned and we're going to have some fun. What's up, everybody? Do you want to live what you love? Wouldn't we all? Live what you love. We're going to dive into that tonight. What are we doing here? Who's coming on? What's the show about tonight? I believe after watching this, you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to implement that live what you love right into your life. We got X Games gold medalist 2018 Winter X, Cody Matechuk. We're going to get a chance to meet him. That's number one. Number two, we're going to learn what live what you love means to him and how you can implement that in your life too as well. And the third thing, we're going to learn valuable lessons in the pursuit of your passion, whatever it may be. It might change. It might move a little bit. As you know, my co-host, he's in and out every now and then. Tegan Blue, rocking it out. We're fired up for tonight. I hope you guys are too. Kathy, Eric, thank you guys for all coming in. I appreciate your time this evening. We might run a little long. I just want to warn you, I'll try to keep my portion of it tight so we don't take up too much of your valuable time. If you are appreciating what we're doing here, share this out. If you got a friend that wants to watch this tonight, share it to them, invite them, tag them in the comments. And don't forget, right up here, click those three dots and put me as a C first. That way you get notified when I go live. And we can share this. We can grow this project. We can take this driven mindset straight to the top. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. It's all right. It's just I don't know if it's a nerve thing or if it's more of an adrenaline type thing, but I'm fired up as can be. And all I got to do is execute. What is this? Who am I? What are we doing here tonight? My name is Scott Spiro. First of all, I'm a dad, I'm a sledder, and I got my vision set on reaching my goals, each and every single one of them, because I believe that no matter where we start from, no matter where we come from, and no matter where we currently are, we all have the ability to learn ourselves out of it, up above it, or right to where we want to go. With that, this show is created for people that are crushing it, that want to crush it, and they're like me that didn't even know what this crushing it thing was about. It's driven. It's that driven mindset. It's Facebook live feed. We come to you weekly and we talk about mindset, networking, pursuing your passions, chasing that fulfilled life. And we hope you get some value from it. I've always admired people with that driven mindset, that with the ability to go above and beyond, to overcome obstacles in front of them, left and right, to get to where they want to go, to smash those goals, because that's what this is about, is trying to feed that fire to maybe help you, help me, help somebody along the way to reach those goals and do a little bit better with what they have and what they're working with. Can you feel me on that? How many people do we got on here? I want to welcome a bunch of people coming on. I do appreciate that. Brad, Alex, Derek, Mike, Gunderson, Jackie, Pete, everybody, thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time tonight. Please share this out. Let's blow this up. I'm going to have a little bit of speech here, and then we're going to bring Cody right up and on and get into the interview. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, John. Share this out. Blow this up. Let's push that number up. I bet with teamwork, I bet with everybody sharing out, put it out to your groups, I bet we can get that number to hit 100 tonight. That would be rad. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. What's up, Jeremy? All right, here we go. I'm coming at you weekly with this project, and it's about pursuing passions. It's about trying to be better, and it's about going above and beyond what you're typically doing to get where you want to go. I had to look back about a year ago. I kind of looked at what I had going on, and I looked at what I wanted to be doing, and I realized the two didn't align. They didn't even meet up anywhere near each other. So I had to change some of the things I was doing to get where I wanted to go and accomplish some of the things I wanted to do, and that took getting uncomfortable. It took press and play on this Facebook Live, and it took learning a little bit. I'll stumble along the way, but you know what? If you're stumbling, and as long as you're stumbling forward, you're headed somewhere, and that's what I'm talking about. What's up, Cody? Thanks for popping on. Here's what I'm talking about tonight. I believe that through the process of through this whole show, at some point you're going to hear something, either be it from me or from a guest that comes on the show, and you could have been told that same thing, that same exact piece of advice 100 times over and never hit it, never heard it, never clicked with it. And, you know, drop some fire emojis in here if somebody's constantly telling you to do the same thing, do the same thing, do the same thing, but you don't hear it, you don't hear it, you don't do it. I hope through the process of this show, maybe something I say or something a guest says along the way, it hits you on that vibrational level and you're able to hear it and implement it into your life and be able to do some of the things you want to do just by hearing that piece of advice. And if I can accomplish that with Driven, with one person, and push them a little ahead and speed up their process a little, then no matter what, this is a win. And a lot of times you got to block out that white noise, and I got a comparison about the white noise. You're hearing stuff all around you all the time, and I picture it as like driving through a snowstorm. You know what it's like? You hit that intergalactic space where all you see is the snow just flying right at you. You can kind of block out all the noise around you, and you really start focusing on one thing, and that's the end point is where you want to go, but you're right in front of you. You only got about that 10 foot of vision. You're in Star Wars mode. It's just flying by you, but you're focused on what you want to accomplish right in front of you, and you can't let the distractions either in the vehicle or around you distract you from where you want to go, because you're in the snow and there's lots of slipping and a sliding and lots of detours along the way. But as long as you're focused on that end point and trying to focus on each step and ignoring every snowflake that passes your way, but looking forward ahead, that I believe that's the method to get where you want to go, no matter what, because you can see it. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Appreciate that, Jason. I hit mindset and personal development a lot with this show, and that's kind of what it's founded on, because that's really what turned the ship for me, was accessing what was going on up in here so I could process and try to get what's coming out of here and what my production level was doing. And through that process and through all that, I'm like, why not press Facebook Live and start talking about my own journey? And I bet I can reach out and connect with people like Patrick and David that are absolutely crushing it. They're trying new things and they're implementing things in their life to get where they want to go. That was the purpose behind starting Driven, and it's evolved into this beautiful thing, and I thank you guys all. So share this out. I'm gonna tell a little story here because I want to set everybody's mindset on the right frame before we get to this interview, because I think it's going to be very real, very fun, and I'm going to tell a story right now that talks a little bit about to get that mindset right. It sets the tone for bringing Cody on. So I'm going to get with that. I'm going to shout everyone out a little bit. Appreciate this, guys. Share this out to your groups. Let's blow it out, and let's try to see if we can get that racked up to 100. We might stay a little bit over an hour, but thank you guys all for your time tonight. With that said, and bringing new people into your life through this show, I'm fired up. I just spit all over my camera. Sorry, guys. Quick story, and I'm going to kind of set it up. I got to kind of read it because I wrote it all out, so I think it'll be fun like this, and then we're going to bring Cody right up on here. I believe, and I said this at the beginning, I believe anybody is really capable of anything except for the obvious. I mean, I'm not going to be a linebacker in the NFL. I know that, but I'm okay with it. There's lots of other things in the world for me to do, but I believe with the right vision, the right passion, the right goals, and taking the right steps along the way, really anybody can accomplish anything they want. But I want to talk about something a little unique, a little different, and I think we've all drop a 1 in the comments if you've known people like this in your life that just just through them living their passion and doing what they're passionate about, they have the ability to impact those around them. They can actually bring the level up of people around them just by them living what they love and pursuing their passion. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny how it happens, because I believe our guest has a lot of those qualities tonight. And just from what I've seen through social media and a few small conversations I've had with people that are in his circle, I truly believe he has that type of energy around him. He can help bring people up. And it reminds me of my first couple years when I went to college, a little junior college in Northern California. I went there and I met one such guy, and it was apparent from the very first time I met him, through the entire time I've known him, that he literally has the ability to lift the people up around him. Yes, he's extremely good at what he does, but I don't think that him being good at that is the only reason that he has the ability to lift people up. His name's Luke Branquino. He's since went on to win like 5 world championships in the steer wrestling event in professional rodeo. But I had a chance to be around him when I first went off to college, and it didn't matter where he was, whether we were in the practice pen or whether he was in the rodeo arena or we're hanging out by the trucks, we're at the bar. No matter where we were at, it was his energy that had the ability to lift everybody up around him. And I know from personal experiences, I just put my mindset at ease. Like, I don't know, maybe I'd be stressed about going to a California rodeo in this big old city, and you get around him and it could be, you know, the last steer before the world championships or the first steer of the very first rodeo, and his mindset, it was never different. It was always the same demeanor. It was always the same sort of focus, and it literally charged everybody up. So the reason I point this out, because at the time that we met him, we'd have these conversations, and it was, you know, among us friends and family and stuff. He's a very talented guy, but the question never really was, would he accomplish what it is that he was setting out to accomplish? It was a matter of, you know, not if, it was when and how many times over. And like I said, he's since gone on to not only win the world championship 5 times, he's overcame, like, I don't know, probably 10 season-ending injuries, career-ending injuries, and he's got the same mindset. It's the driven mindset, and he taps into that. And I bring it up again. I bring it up because not that it's somebody that's good at something. It's that the people around him are naturally raised up, and they are made better. Just, you know, being around him, being around that energy, and that's what fires me up about this interview tonight, because I think Cody possesses a lot of those similar qualities. Mom, don't be calling me. It's a driven night. I just hung up on my mom. Sorry, moms. Talk to you after the show. What that is, though, I want to shout. We'll get Cody on here in just a minute. What that is, though, and what I really want to focus on is it's not that they're just great. It's they made themselves great. It was the work they put in behind the scenes, and you see people that are good at stuff. You always, you know, why do they make it seem so easy? Why do they make, you know, it seem so effortless? And it's not that it's easy, and it's not that it's effortless. From what I can tell, it's because they put the work in behind the scenes, and they've committed it. They've committed it to habit. They're not performing on, you know, reactionary basics. It's almost it's trained in them to do it right, and it's the instinct, and it's the ability to perfect that one thing and make that an instinct, and it's the ability to do it one more time again, and you can build a foundation on those instinctful reactions. And I think that story went a little long, but I liked it. If you feel me on that one, drop a 2 in the comments. I got no 2s. We did 1. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. It's a cool angle for a podcast. I appreciate it, Robert. I appreciate that. But I bring it up. I hope you guys enjoyed that little bit of a story, and that's what I wanted to set your mindset on what Cody's able to do, and I hope we all can feel that through this little talk we're gonna have tonight. The most significant thing, though, is if you're gonna do something, teach somebody along the way. Because it's one thing, you know, like it's one thing to be able to do something good yourself, but you want to get really good at something. The ability to teach somebody else and lift them up along the way, that's where I believe the real reward comes from. That's right. That's right. Train muscle memory. Best way to do it. I kind of breezed over a lot there, but I was running long on time, and that's what we had to do. Without further ado, I want to say thank you for your time. Replay viewers, I appreciate you. Live viewers, let's light this up, have some fun tonight. I'm going to bring Cody on in just a second. How's everybody feeling? Man, I'm fired up. Hope it goes well. I know it will because I prepared. What's up? What's up, brother? How you doing, man? How you feeling?
Doing good. How are you?
I am great. Let me do a little sound check with the audience. Drop a ton of hearts right now if you can hear us and see us good. Smash the heart button. Come on. Can you hear us and can you see us all right? There we go. There's usually a little bit of a delay. I hope Facebook has their stuff together. They've been kind of a little off lately on their sound, but we're all good.
I see hearts, so we must be good.
We must be good to go. We must be good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, I want to welcome to the show Cody Matechuk, current X Games gold medalist in SnowBike Cross. He's a national road racing title holder at 14, Pro MX, Pro Snowcross, Pro Road Racing, certified skydiver, guaranteed to have a good time, and 100% living to his limits and living what he loves. So welcome, Cody. I want to thank you for coming on the show. How are you doing? How you feeling?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Say hi to my little man. This is Tegan. Whoa.
That's it's good. We've been on the road like crazy. We got a little break here about a week, and then we head to Norway. So it's good to catch up and have a chat. And
this worked out well. Heading to Norway. We're gonna get into that. I wanted to bring that up a little bit, bro. You're gonna do it, huh?
Hell yeah!
All right.
Yeah, we've been working hard for it. So
absolutely. All right. So for those of you who don't know, if you don't follow Cody Matechuk, you're missing out. Get on his page. Get on his athlete page. But dude's ripping it up this summer in the squirrel suit. And if you've seen like the YouTube videos or the Red Bull videos of the cliffs of Norway, that's where he's headed next week, right?
Yeah, Monday.
Expect to see a lot of footage for that. You got some cameras and stuff going out there with you to do it like real legit, or you just going out to rock it and have some fun?
We got GoPros and thinking about bringing my drone. We'll see how much. Trying to pack everything in one bag, so we'll see how it goes.
I'm sure you could find a drone there from somebody when you get on it, when you land. I bet somebody will have something.
Yeah. We'll steal some footage somehow.
All right. Before we dive into this, I want to bring this up because we have this a little bit in connection. Is the bull riding? Like, I'm not a bull rider by no means. I tried a couple and I realized it wasn't for me. But I was reading through some of your bio and I saw you dabbled in the bull riding a little bit. You know what? Aside from the body issues, what was it something you considered putting effort into?
Yeah, for sure. It was actually through high school. Me and my buddies, we're from a rodeo town, and kind of my buddies rode steers and stuff growing up, and I'm always down for a good time, so we decided to try it out. Found it less scary than horses. I mean, horse, you're so high up there. If you're riding saddle bronc, then you're in stirrups. You can hang up your feet. I don't know. I'll go with the bull. It can't get you if you stay on its back, so whatever, right?
Right. So stay up there until you find a way to get out.
Exactly. So it was fun. And we did it till I actually ended up dislocating my shoulder. The second time I dislocated my shoulder was on a bull. And it was getting into race season, so it started getting in the way of things, and that's kind of how I got out of it. I was racing street bikes at the time, but it was definitely a really fun chapter in my life and one of the most gnarly activities that there is, for sure.
Absolutely. What do
Yeah.
could you compare like a typical base jump to something like riding a bull? Is it comparable for that initial I gotta go to nodding your head?
Pretty much. It's close. Like I mean, I've done a lot of other stuff, skydives, bungee jumps, all that kind of thing. I would say bull riding's, other than base jumping, is the only other thing that will get your heart rate up that much. Like
Nice.
you're on a machine, like a straight up 2,000 pound machine, right? So it's interesting.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Enough talking. Everybody, and it's kind of funny that they call them re-ride stories in the rodeo world. You're always, talking about how good you used to be back there in the rodeo arena. So we'll get off that subject. I just wanted to make a little ground and bring that up because I thought that was pretty cool. You're my first guest that has rodeo experience inside this world. So. Got any buddies? Before we dive into this interview, it's going to be pretty simple. I'm going to shout out some people and kind of lay it out for everybody so they know what's going on. Again, this is Driven. It's an interview show. We talk about mindset, pursuing your passion, networking, and basically just living your life by whatever means necessary, as long as it's pursuing your passion. We hit 3 main questions. We're going to see a little bit about Cody's story. And then we're going to dive into the mindset portion of it, where we'll talk a few hacks that he applies to himself to live his life the way he chooses, and find out exactly what live what you love means to Cody. And then we're going to circle back around and talk about just developing and the tools you use and the type of strategies you use to stay sharp, stay on your game, and be the best you can be. So with that said, you ready to dive in a little bit here?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, man. I covered a little bit of your story coming in, but I want to let you tell it a little bit, let you show who you are to the audience, and if you can do like a 5-10 minute spiel about what's Cody stand for, what are you into, brother?
Yeah, well, I mean, it all started great. As soon as I could ride a bicycle, I rode a dirt bike, and that was the deal growing up. Well, I don't remember it, but they tell me 3 years old, and yeah, if you can ride a bicycle, you can get a dirt bike. So I crashed my brains out for a week straight, and then ended up riding that thing. Was able to get a PW, and
Hey, bud, will you turn that down a little bit?
it was yeah, the rest is pretty much history. We went from that to when I was 4 years old. Raced dirt bikes all through the minis, so 50s, 60s. Started to get into 80s, and then in 2006 was like my last full year. I was 12-ish. Yeah, 12. And then 2007, I had like a half in between year because at the same time of this, I was racing mini bikes, basically like XR 100s and CRF 50s on a go-kart track with street tires. And we'd road race. Yeah, it was sick. It was really fun. So we call it mini road racing.
Yeah.
And then it kind of opened up an opportunity through a company called Matechuk for me to go overseas, representing Canada and race in. It's called the Matechuk World Finals, and it was in Valencia, Spain. That was sick. Ended up coming out 19th out of 144 kids, and from then on, kind of decided we're gonna go street bikes instead of dirt bikes. And for 2008, we went full in for the Canadian Nationals. Went in on the amateur circuit on an SV650, which is like a V-twin Suzuki 650. Yeah, spec class. It was a lot of fun. I was 14, won a national championship. And then the next year was 600s, won a national championship on that. And then turned pro when I was 16, got the pro rookie of the year. And it was going up and up and up. And then we hit 2008. No, well, 2008 is when it kind of, the economy kind of started crashing. So
it did.
And when 2010 hit, and that was my first pro year, it was a struggle, but we ended up getting it worked out that we could race. But 2011 was even more of a struggle. So we took a step backwards, went to a spec class, That was a Harley Davidson spec class. And it was a lot of fun racing with some legends. Steve Crevier, James, Michael Barnes came out. Some real road racing legends that have been at the top of the sport for years and years. And it was a lot of fun, but with the way racing was going and dying down, I was also losing a little bit of passion for road racing. Decided to step away, and 2012 was the year I graduated high school. And
hold on. I want to hit that point just real quick, because this is what struck me so big. Is I saw a post from you. I don't. It's been about a year ago now. But you just said you kind of lost some passion for it, and then you graduated high school. So at 16 and 17 years old, you're like, all right, I'm kind of, losing my passion towards this national level competition. I'm going to make a switch. And I reached out to David when I saw the post, and I really didn't know David at the time. And I'm like, I need to talk to this kid. And I'm like, I don't forget what the post read or said, but I was like, holy crap, he's got his head on straight. And I like that. And anyway, around 16 or 17, he makes a career change. I got to point that out. That was awesome.
Yeah, I kind of always joke. I retired from professional road racing at 18. But it was good. I mean, at 18 years old, it was the first year I haven't raced a bike since I was 2, which is 16 years of racing. And it is taxing on a kid. And some guys can do it. Some have a hard time with it. For me, I'm someone where I'm always doing something different. That's where it's the bull riding, the skydiving, base jumping, it all. And I need to stay fresh that way. So it was kind of time to move on. And so from there, graduated high school, went into the oil patch, ended up working oil for a while, went into drilling rigs, and worked drilling rigs for 3.5 years.
Yep.
And had some things go on personally, and I started enjoying motocross again and getting back into the racing. Did a trial year, a few nationals in the western side, and then we ended up going for a year, like really trying for a good year. And it was the kind of year where you put all the cards into it, all the chips in, and nothing worked out. Thursday before the first national, separated a shoulder, missed the first national, and then I was riding 6 days later, separated shoulder. Went to the round 2, Nanaimo. I was doing good. I was riding in 5th place. Ended up spraining my ankle last lap of the first moto. We finished that race, but the second race off the start, tweaked it again, couldn't finish. Went through Calgary in a lot of pain. And then in Regina, round 4, case of triple, snapped another ankle. So in 4 weeks, we came out with a separated shoulder, a sprained ankle, and a broken ankle. And it was
that's Moto.
Yeah. And then as all this was happening, this is when the SnowBike thing was starting to happen. First SnowBike was in 2016, and I remember it. The first year that I started getting back into moto is when I was talking to Hoyer and Regan at Kamloops. And I was a sledder. I was thinking about doing the transition, but not sure yet what.
Yeah.
I could see it growing. You could see the sport growing, and it was like getting near that time where, okay, this is when I need to get in the door there. And talking to 2 guys kind of sold me on getting a kit. So that winter, ended up selling my sled. 2 days later, had a SnowBike kit lined up through Cycleworks Foothills. And that weekend we were out on the mountains and had a blast. That was the winter of 2015, 2016. It was the first year on the SnowBike. Of like private filming, submitted it to Gaia Tracks. We got in the credits of that first, I guess it was SnowBike, either the second or third. I think the second SnowBike film. We got in the tracks. Where they did the contents at the end, the scrolly thing.
What's that called?
So the next,
I don't have those on here. I I don't need those.
Yeah. The next year we're like, okay, we got to hit it hard. We getting sponsors ready. Ended up signing a deal with YETI. Super stoked. Everyone on board. And then it was like a week, or I think it was actually during the snow show in Calgary, that they announced X Games. Snow bikes were going to be in X Games, or it was like the week before or something like that. And it was just crazy. And all of a sudden it changed from here to way up here.
Going 100.
Extra bike, motors, all this stuff done, suspension, testing. We got to go here. How do we qualify? We don't even know.
How does the snow bike race work? How does it? And that's, I kind of touched on it a little bit. It's like, and your time span. I mean, you're talking throwing a leg over a snow bike in 2016, and by 2018, 2017 you were bronze.
Yeah.
And by 2018, gold medalist. And I want to touch the, a lot of people see that. It's like, man, you make it look easy. And he's only, it's only been 2 years. And it's like, well, you've been on a bike since you were 2. You put in hard work in everything. It's just learning, a lot. But a lot of the work had already been done. And miraculous, dude. That's freaking awesome to just launch it like that. I mean, just send it from 2 years to go, full, basically as factory as a guy can get in the snow bike scene, and then go bronze, gold. So hats off to that, man. Badass. Congrats. I love it.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, no, it's been quite the ride. I mean, most people don't know my first time on a snow bike track, like racing, was the snow bike qualifier there for the 17 X Games. We didn't really know, like we were talking to Joe Duncan and talking to X Games, figuring out how we're gonna get into it. And came like a week before. Hey, I guess we got to drive to Minnesota. So loaded up by myself with my dad's trailer from BC. From Minnesota, it's like 31 hours. Made it almost straight. We did a quick tour up to YETI factory in Edmonton. And then met up with the guys from Raze there, Chris. We spent the week tuning, getting a bike dialed in, and everything from there. I mean, it's history.
Love it.
It happened.
This is a badass spot to switch this, and I want to tie these things together. Is the live what you love mindset, and stepping in 100 on going for snow bikes is. How much of that do you think is just because it's pure fun and it's something that you're like, that's became a part of you? How much of that do you think transitions to onto the track and being able to accomplish, what you've done in 2 years?
Well, funny you say the live what you love thing actually came into play through Justified Cultures that I got to work with just as I got away from the rigs again and started motocrossing. So the passion kind of grew with that, and that live what you love thing I've really brought close to me. But it's definitely like snow bikes, I fell in love because of the backcountry. What you can do on them in the backcountry, it opens up so many doors, and the mountain is your canvas. You can do anything you want. It's amazing. And then to be able to race them and get back to my roots, which is always racing. It's funny. I get away from racing, it pulls me right back in every time. Now a dirt bike, snow bike, street bike, I'm always back to it. But it's just something that's always driven me, the competition and everything about it. It's once you get up into past amateur into professional moto, street bikes, whatever, you start having to split hairs and get that 10th of a second, that 100th of a second. We're not looking for a second or two. We're looking for just a hair, 10th of a second. And try and find that and do the development, I think, is half the battle and half the reason I like it. It's a puzzle every time. New track, new with snow. It's even more. The sun hits it. Shadow. Was it cold 3 days ago? How does it react to the snow? And it's kind of cool. It's something new, and having everything from the street bikes to dirt bikes kind of feed that and be able to use different pieces of the puzzle to help snow bikes is huge. And yeah, no, it's definitely
Love it.
a lot.
Love it, man. I feel it. I can feel it. I feel it. I like that. Live what you love. And I kind of, with the driven stuff, with this driven thing, it's kind of the same thing. It's, a lot, the work and the stuff behind the scenes, it kicks me and it helps me kind of, I'm like, hey, think, what would think driven, like, okay, I don't want to do this stuff. I don't want to write all these emails, and it's simple, it's email, but it's like think driven, live what you love. You're doing this to be able to do the things you want to do and, live that lifestyle, live that passionate life that no matter what you're doing, it's going to come out and it's going to come across in it. And so I can kind of recognize with the slogan, the hashtag, the driven mindset, the, live what you love. I kind of same type of thing to me.
Sure.
I'm not winning XO anytime soon, so I'm not even. My goal is to make it to X to watch you next year.
You should for sure.
That's where I'm at. All right, guys, I'm going to break for a little bit, tell everybody what's going on. If you're just tuning in, thank you so much for your time. You're watching Driven. My name's Scott. This is Cody Matechuk, 2018 X Games gold medalist, SnowBike Cross. And we're talking mindset. We're talking, it looks like somebody else, your Jackie Matechuk wants to join too. I can only have 2 people on at a time.
I have no idea.
It's all good. Anyway, so back to the interview. I want to thank you guys all for your time. Share this out if you haven't. Share it to all your groups. Let's blow it up. Let's get Cody some hyped up. He's about ready to jump off to Norway on Monday morning, so we couldn't have timed this better. And now we're talking mindset, and I want to talk in terms of jumping off that stinking cliff in a freaking squirrel suit, because if that doesn't take mindset and control and being able to harness all that energy, I don't know what does. So where does the mindset, where does the mindset come from, Cody? Like what is the behind the scenes work you do to be able to do that?
Well, this year we've been putting a lot of time in the wingsuit for sure. But it's our first trip overseas, me and my buddy. First trip to, we call it Terminal Base, which is like you reach terminal velocity on big cliffs. They're like 3,000 feet. So we're actually going track suits. They're called track suits. They're big. They fill up with air. They got like little air in. The jacket fills up. The pants fill up. It's like you don't get as much glide as a wingsuit, but it's still a suit that you wear that gives you extra glide. So This year we'll be going track suits to learn our exits and just learn more about that aspect of the sport. But yeah, I mean, base jumping, it's seriously something that I've been wanting to do since I was like, as early as I can remember, 10, 12, I don't know, watching YouTube. It was like this, like wingsuit base. And when I was 18, I went up. I was trying to convince friends to come skydiving with me, and no one wanted to come. There's just excuses, too much money, not enough time, blah blah blah. So it's like, well, whatever. I'm going. So I ended up. I was up north at work, and I ended up calling in, booking my tandem, my first jump course, and my next 5 jump training. I booked it in one phone call. They're like, "Are you sure you don't want to come?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'll do it all. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna like it. Don't worry." A hotel booked. I stayed for the weekend and crushed it out, and immediately fell in love with the sport.
Nice.
It was awesome, and I didn't get through it all as quick as I wanted to. The first 3 years I kind of slacked, and I only ended up putting in about 40 jumps. And then years ago I really picked it up and started putting in 70 to 100 jumps per summer. And now last year we went back to like only 40 jumps in the year, but I ended up getting like 135 base jumps. It was my first base jump summer. So we're focusing on that. Now we're kind of splitting hairs in between two of them. So far this year, I've been base jumping and skydiving. May 1st or May 2nd is when I ended snow bikes for the year, and we've racked up about 80 skydives and base so far in the last. So it's been good. Good start to the summer, and can't wait to see where it goes.
Absolutely. I'm sure you're going to take it to the absolute limits. Just from what I've seen thus far out of you, I'm sure you're going to be great at it and then push as far as you can go. Are you looking as like it says you're certified or whatever? Is it something you want to pursue as far as like an instructor type situation, or just share it, just expose more people to it? Is it long-term play for you, or?
Definitely thought about it. I actually, before X Games this year, I had it lined up. I was going to go pack parachutes and do some camera flying for a drop zone in Alberta here. And then we've kind of put it on hold, the talk, because X Games is coming up. And I ended up, after winning X Games, I called them about a week later and basically said, well, this year's just turned out a lot busier, and it doesn't look like I'll be able to. So I was going to, and it's kind of being put on hold now, and we're just doing it for fun and to reach that next level. I could definitely see falling back to it, instructor and getting some coach ratings. It's just something that's not right now happening.
I hear you, man. All good. Just wondering. It's there's only so much. The guy's got to do what he's got to do in the amount of time he has to do it. I mean, it's like this Facebook Live, for instance. Like, it's only going to be good like this, and it's for a while, and then something else is going to come along and kind of replace this whole thing. But that's kind of where, I mean, I figured, I'm like, why not? Like, if I can do it from here in my house, I can talk to all these different people and learn, get to know them a little bit more and pick up stuff along the way. Why not do it? So I just press play and started talking to people. And dude, I'm comparing my Facebook Lives to not to base jumping and freaking winning X, but it's kind of the same thing. I'm just like, let's do it. I can doing good at this, so I'm going to pour more attention and more focus to this and see where I can take it. And the other stuff kind of is just there. So I love it. Thank you guys all for popping on, man. You got anybody want to drop some shout outs to? I see a ton of your audience on here.
Yeah, I've been too busy talking. I haven't been reading. There's definitely a lot of people on.
I haven't been reading. I see one pop up every now and then, but
I do know the IRev family's on there solid every time. I've been watching some of the older episodes too, and it's good to see everyone there.
Absolutely.
Looks like, oh yeah, my mom even jumped on there. She says, yeah, she even tried skydiving. So I mean,
she did?
If you haven't done it, oh yeah, she came. I think my buddies came with her as well, and they were more scared than she was. It was awesome. So if you haven't tried it.
Oh, dude, I'm on board. I'm 100% on board. It's just like I said, it hasn't been a priority to me, same as your buddies. But yeah, man, I bungee jumped in a parking lot off a crane when I was like 12. It was when bungee jumping just got invented, and this big crane showed up, and I was like 12. My grandma signed the release form. My mom, I paid my own money, and I bungee jumped, and yeah, I was prehistoric bungee jumping, but I made it, and I'm all for it. I love that stuff.
Sick.
Right on. Let's take a shift now. I want to talk about this. So you've been basically at a high level performer from the time you're, around road racing, whether it be snow bike or whatever you've done. You're around that circle where, there's pressure, there's, people that are accomplishing what you want to accomplish. On mentorship and like coaching, as far as from people, is there somebody that sticks out that's kind of like maybe took you under their wing when you're going through, say, road racing or into the SnowBike Cross, like that mentorship, that coaching relationship? Is that something you seek, or or, you know, have been gifted from somebody along the way to get this head in line with what you want to accomplish?
There's definitely a lot of steps along the way, and a lot of people. I don't think I could ever thank them all. But it's more like one thing I always like to do is never say no to opportunity and never say no to someone's advice, whether it's good advice or bad advice. Take it in and make a judgment. Maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't. So all through racing, I mean, my dad motocrossed for a long period of his life, still does, rocks it, Armor suspension. He's at the track every weekend.
I see that. I
Cross.
love it.
So I got a lot from him, a lot from my mom back in the day, and then the moto community is an amazing community. And then shifting into road racing, my stepdad Clint McBain was a professional road racer. Between him and like Jordan Zoke, yeah. So between him and like Jordan Zoke, some other racers, I was hanging at the track from when I was like 8 years old, riding my bicycle around to when I was racing pro. So going up through there, it was I always found myself at a point where there's someone I could talk to. If there's a problem I was having with a corner, I could go up to the guy that's faster than me or guy that's leading, and I could ask them, and they were cool to talk to me, break it down. Well, this is what I'm doing. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. And I think that ability to help people coming up and elevate their level and not be so shut off to someone else leading, I think that was a big key. Just I always felt like I could go ask questions, and if I couldn't, I'd be like, oh okay, I'll go ask this guy then, whatever.
And you're active with some youth programs and stuff too currently, aren't you? Or
yeah, it's been a little bit more trouble since I've been on the road.
Well,
the
yeah,
last
I mean,
couple of years,
career
when I'm home,
aside, when you can.
Yeah. Yeah, when I'm home, I like to do I do private lessons once in a while. We get together for a big group motocross lesson. I got a couple kids that I teach regularly. Parker Valth is one of them. He's broken right now. He broke a femur. He's getting
dude, I saw that. They when I shared this out, both him and his mom, I believe, connected with me. Kids,
yeah.
Dude, he was smiling like 5 minutes after, and I have every single picture. He's like, I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
I saw the bone.
2 days ago or yesterday, I can't remember, but yeah, he's all smiles, ready to get riding again, and
Heal up, buddy.
It's important to do that, right? So being able to give back and it's less off the track though. I find like lots of guys will give when they're off the track and when they're not in race mode, but to be at a racetrack or something and get advice from someone, I think that's even a bigger role. I know when I was growing up, to go ask one of the pros advice on a corner, advice on something, and them actually like helping,
taking
or
the time to give it. Dude, smash that like button, people. Throw some hearts on that. That's the most valuable thing, and that's why I brought up Luke in the beginning of that, because that's the type of stuff that he does everywhere he goes. And just reading some of your bios, I kind of got the sense that was the same thing, and I love it because the footprint you're able to leave is 100 times bigger than it would be if you're blindered, you're not helping the up and coming person, and I've been fortunate enough to be helped along my way from people like that too, and nothing more valuable than giving back, especially to the youth, man. Like, everybody needs a little help sometimes. Love that. Did I interrupt you? Did you want to keep going with that? I'm sorry. I was like, smash that like button now, people. Come on, smash it.
No, I think that's about all I had on that. Yeah.
All right. Conscious. Let's shift this. Are you conscious? Do you consciously do you have a more like a daily routine? I know with traveling, things get mixed up, but are you conscious with your method of operation, like during the day, from when you wake up? Do you have your gym routine, reading, that sort of thing?
I have like right now I kind of got an on season, off season. And right now it's off season.
Yep.
I'm enjoying the pair that kind of thing. Diet, kind of goes out the window. I enjoy doing pizza, but first hits, it's like full on gym mode, salads and healthy lean chicken, all that nice stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very it goes right from like having fun, enjoying everything to full strict. It's kind of crazy switch, but it's the way I personally like to do it. But as of like first, it's in bed by 10, up by 6 a.m. Or if I want to do an earlier day, it's in bed by 9, up by 5 a.m. in the gym, do the morning workout, smash an isogenic shake, and then hit our day, whether it's onto the computer emails or into the shop working on bike. But either way, we get that gym time in the morning, possibly a cardio session in the afternoon, bike, depending on what's happening or driving or whatever it may be. But always find time to keep moving. I always find time to have proper sleep.
Yeah.
It's always important.
Got to work the mind
besides
out.
that,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. Or clean food and try and get moving, keep stretching, and keep moving towards goals.
Love it. Dude, you transferred right into my next question that I wanted to hit. It was goal setting. Segway. He's the Segway champ. Dude, are you doing are you live on TV a lot? Do you know about the Segway? I got coined. It was
Segway.
So a Segway is like leading into the next question. I did it after I was kind of done riding bareback horses. I did a little stint as a rodeo announcer, and I got pegged as like the king of segways, and it was always like, well, funny you should bring that up. I'd happens to bring up a specific sponsor and name. Have you had a chance to go to the Courthouse Cafe? So the Segway is leading up to the next question by kind of finishing over here that sparks the next one. So it's goal setting, man. That's what I want to hit next. What goal setting is it? Priority to you? Little goals, big goals, daily goals, 90-day goals? Like, what does goal setting mean to Cody?
Goal setting, it's honestly a tough one because I've been back and forth to like having my goal board or kind of just playing it, winging it, and basically, I think there has to be a goal. And like last year, let's go through last year.
Yeah, let's do that.
Straight up gold. There was not a thought about second, or like I just didn't even want to think about it. So, what we had to do is every day work towards that. And it was in all aspects. Work towards it, making sure our team's ready, make sure our bikes are ready. And then obviously physically fit, mentally fit, ready to go. So every day was trying to step forward and get in closer to that goal. I think that was it's more like the daily, just make sure you do something to get you closer to it every single day. And it's kind of transferred into the life where now I always do that. It's every morning you wake up, okay, what are you doing today? Whether even if it's just a few emails, making some connections, or if it's a big objective that you've completed, as long as you're moving towards that goal closer and not just wasting another day, then I think.
Love it. I feel it, man. I feel it too. I've brought it up on previous shows about setting, it's good to have that big goal, but, it's setting those little incremental ones up along the way. It's like, is the bike ready today? What can I do today to make things go better? And I've touched on that a lot, man. I feel it, man. I feel it. It must work too, because last year's goal setting, semi-accomplished.
Yeah.
What does the 2019 goal list look like yet?
2019 is very similar to last year. We've already started getting people on board, doing the behind the scenes work to make sure we have. It looks like we're going to try and make heydays this year, which is exciting. It'll be my first time, so we're trying to get everything ready for heydays.
Mm-hmm.
And then besides that, my other goals outside of snow bikes is chasing this base jump thing, and it's something that's a full passion, and hopefully one day maybe I'll make money at it, maybe not sure, but it's something that I will do for a very long time. So it's right now, those are my goals that I'm chasing, but in the big scheme of things, we're still waking up every morning, getting emails done, trying to sell old parts, trying to get new sponsors, and
Mm-hmm.
make it all. So it's definitely, it's full-time gig, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's not a, you know, it's not a
What sort of,
vacation.
with that full-time gig, you say, what's the importance of the tribe around you, your team, as far as I know your dad's around, but your team that makes sure that Cody gets his stuff done, helps you, picks up where you might not lack. How much importance do you put on that team around you?
It's huge. I mean, it's every little piece. Like I have my dad. He's doing suspension, taking care of that avenue, deals with some parts and that kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. And it's something where I can I trust him, and I know that that's dealt with, so I don't
Yeah.
have to worry. Um, on the back end of it, the far back end is my mom, where it's every email. Before I send out an important email, it goes to her so she can make it nice and clean it.
Nice.
No English pros, everything, websites, all the amazing stuff like that. I have that corner. My mechanic, I have one of the best mechanics in the world, in my opinion, Patrice Goyette. My
Woo.
motors, they'll come here and they go in a cooler and they get shipped to Quebec. Done. I don't have to worry about them until they're back, and I'll put them in a bike. So it's every little piece that you put together. That it becomes a list this big that gets shrunken down to this big because you got everyone taking care of the little pieces, and then so you can, if you get people in your corner that you trust, you really don't have as many pieces as you think.
Yeah.
You got a kind of thing, but then it's done because you can trust people. So
Yes,
it's pretty.
sir. Love that. Your network, man. It's make lean on your network and increase your work a little bit. Cool. I
Yeah.
love it. I love that you put that importance on it. Hey guys, I appreciate everybody's time tonight. We're gonna blow over the hour mark. I know it, but if you got some questions you want to ask either Cody or myself, drop them now. If you've already dropped them, I apologize. We'll get back to them afterwards. We'll answer them. But if you want them answered live, now's a good time to drop them, and we'll try to pay attention and pick them up. But with that said, man, is there anything you want to cover? Any advice out there that you want to give somebody? Maybe the guy that's coming to beat you this year in 2019. You can, maybe it's a young kid, maybe it's an old guy that works for the Air Force that wants to chase you. Um, is there any advice you can give anybody to, speed up their process a little besides all of it?
Yeah, I mean, just keep pushing and don't stop asking questions. It's between asking questions and taking opportunities. You never know what opportunity might lead down a road that changes your life. It's something like skydiving, for example. I use. If you haven't done it, go do it. It could change your life. It might not. You might walk away from it after, but it might change everything. All of a sudden, everything you thought was important might not be so important.
Ooh,
And so it's never give up an opportunity because it could change your life. So
feel you on that, man. I feel you on that. Drop some hearts up on that. Drop it. Blow them up. I don't see any questions coming in. Let's see. The gold Dieter says, you bet.
got it right over. It's right in the middle there.
Sick.
Up, left, yeah, there.
X Games champ, gold guitar. That's badass, man. That's badass. I love it. Dude, I got to ask this question. Did you, by any chance, when they asked you what you're going to do now, did you happen to say, we're going to Disneyland? Or Disney World?
I accidentally said a nice swear on national television, and that was kind of
Nice.
Not the highlight. Hey, Robert, no, I haven't got my gold one yet. That's last year's.
Right on, brother. Dude, I appreciate this so much, man. Thank you. This is fun. I could probably talk for another hour and be a little less focused on questions, but I have that value in people's time tonight. We can do this again. Shout outs to anybody. You got any, you got a massive list of sponsors. I don't know if you got them all wrote down. You want to roll through them. If you want to hit a few, camera's yours, stage is yours. If you want to give anybody some shout outs.
Definitely love that Yamaha YETI product. I mean, that's something that I've been on for a while now, and it's something that I'll be on for a while. Developing that, it's wicked. Raze Motorsports and RMR suspensions, being able to control every aspect of my bike that way, taking the best and making it better. It's amazing. Olympian Zox is what I'm wearing for outerwear, and it's brand new. The Olympia products brand new
Yes.
market.
Dude, I finally dove into some of your pictures and did some hardcore zooms. I'm like, I haven't seen it on anybody else, man. We got to figure out how to get it to the masses. It's dope. It's dope. Sure. I love it.
New Motovan's product. It's super sick. We've been working on actually designs for next year this entire week. So excited for when that stuff comes out. The new catalog should be out soon. We're doing some photo shoots. They got onesies coming. I love onesies for the back.
Yeah, so, I'm going onesie this year. I got to.
Yeah, it's super sick. Besides that, we got Merchant Services, Toyo Tires, Coldwell Banker, Cochran Floors and More, which is also my mom's business. Gotta thank them because that's all my websites and all the good stuff. Hada Automotive is a mechanic shop out of Calgary that I always bring my truck to. They're amazing people. Drop everything and fix it right away. Just busy schedule. Yeah, so no, it's been good. A lot of people. IRev family for sure. Gotta thank them. It's I can't wait for next year. We got some exciting things coming up. Things that we've been sitting on for a few months now. So hopefully be able to do some stuff real soon. But yeah, stoked.
Perfect, brother. Perfect. Appreciate it again. What's that, Tim? All right, guys, your last chance to drop any questions you got. Again, if you're replay viewers, we appreciate it. And I'll hop back in. Cody, if you get some free time the next day or two, hop back in and answer any questions that pop up to anybody and drop any, go ahead and feel free to drop any links or whatever you want to Justify Cultures or anybody in the comments in here. And man, I just hats off, brother. I appreciate you joining us tonight.
Yeah, dude, thanks for having me, man. It's been good. Love your shows. Love the whole attitude about it. Driven, pushing. It's great. Good to be a part of.
Glad to have you, man. And like I always tell everybody, man, welcome to the Driven Network. I'm not much help, but I'm here for whatever it is you can need help with. I got this Facebook Live thing down. If Matechuk 111 needs his own live show, I'm your guy. I can speed up your learning curve on it a little bit and get you pointed in the right direction. But I do appreciate your time. Have a badass trip to overseas, Norway.
Yeah.
Norway.
Yeah.
Today, service veterans, anniversary of D-Day this year for the United States crowd here. I believe Canada had something to do. It was involved in that too. I don't want to go depth in it, but thank you. Have a bad. Not here to talk to that stuff, but appreciate the servicemen, servicewomen out there for all they do. And brother, thank you. Everybody connect with Cody, Facebook, Instagram. We got to get you over 10,000, bud. You're close to 10,000 on Instagram.
Just hovering there. We got to bump that up.
Get this guy to 10, Operation Cody to 10 plus. That way you get the swipe up feature. And trust me, from a sponsorship standpoint, the swipe up feature, it's a good one to have.
Yeah, we need that one.
Like, I don't even pay attention to social media. I just post on it when I need to and do my thing. All right. Later, buddy. Appreciate it. Let's have you back on maybe when your season kicks off or something like that. We'll tie back in. If not, I plan on being at Heydays myself, and maybe we'll just do it live from right there in one of the booths.
Sweet. Sounds good, dude.
Okay.
See you later.
Have a good night, buddy. Stay driven, stay healthy, and keep living what you love.
You too, man.
Thank you, everybody, for having some fun with us tonight. I appreciate all the shares, the hearts, the loves. Not much crowd interaction on that. But I really wanted to get his message across. I typically interact more, and we will more next time. But with that said, I value all your time. I'll get off this. Leave me alone. No matter. Goodbye. See you later. And no matter what, remember this. No matter where you are, no matter what you got going on, literally, we're all just a decision away from changing it. I kind of saw where my life was headed, and I realized it wasn't going to take me to be able to do the things I wanted to do and experience the lifestyle I wanted to experience. So I changed some stuff. So I opened a book, and I made the decision, and I decided to start making stuff happen for me, and we all have that power. So God bless you all. Thank you. Stay driven. Be well. Connect, like, share, follow. Don't forget the heart stuff.